last time the live album mattered and was an event when it was released and was impactful and could make or break artists' careers. Cheap Trick and Budokan at number 5. At number 4, we go to a band that has released a ton of live records in their career. But there is none that I like more than the very first one, recorded at Massey Hall in Toronto in 1976, and I'm talking about Rush, All the World's a Stage. That is my number 4 greatest live album of all time. I remember getting it on vinyl. Why do I love it so much? Well, by all accounts, it is truly live. It is the classic double record. It did breathe new life and energy into some of the songs, although in the case of Rush, I think the studio versions still probably trump the live versions. Rush is not one of those bands in this instance, I don't think, where the live version just blew away the studio version. I don't feel that, but I do feel it's a very special record. It was a really important record to me as a Rush fan. It was one of the first I got from them. And what I love so much about it is it covers a period of time for Rush that I absolutely loved, which is the first 4 records. I mean, I love early Rush. I love 70s Rush. Now you're not getting Hemispheres, you're not getting Permanent Waves or Moving Pictures. That would all come on the second Rush live album, Exit Stage Left. But you are getting the first album, Fly By Night, Caress of Steel, and as they say during the live recording, from their new album at the time, 2112, the entire song played live. I just thought it was a landmark record. It is my favorite era of Rush. It is my favorite live album from them by a long shot. And it was really important to me as a Rush fan. And I will put that as my number 4. One other thing that I'm going to tell you right out of the gate here. As we get into your list shortly, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of people that are going to have Exit Stage Left. And that's fine. And I certainly love the material on Exit Stage Left. I personally never loved Exit Stage Left because I thought the energy was pulled out of the record in the production. I thought that album to me always sounded like essentially a studio record. It did not have the same energy, spontaneity, crowd noise than All the World's a Stage. And for years, this was a huge debate with me and Rush fans. Going back to that metal show, constantly people would argue over this. Eddie, you're crazy. Exit Stage Left, Exit Stage Left. The material can't be argued with on Exit Stage Left. But the vibe of it as a live record always left me feeling flat. And I always thought that it was lacking greatly in that department in just feeling like a live record. And I had maybe the greatest vindication of my life. We had Geddy Lee on that metal show a couple of times in the history of that show. And if you guys are hardcore watchers and you remember, we did a throwdown where we argued 2 records or 2 things against each other around the table. We did a throwdown of Exit Stage Left versus All the World's a Stage. And we asked the man himself, Geddy Lee, to pick between the 2. And Geddy went with All the World's a Stage. He and I were the only ones that did. And he said the reason why is exactly what I've always said about the Exit Stage Left. He said, yeah, I think Geddy's exact quote was, we pulled back on that one too much in the mix. Meaning that it was deadened. It just didn't have the vibe of a live record, even though it was. So anytime anybody argues Exit Stage Left versus All the World's a Stage, I just say, hey, Geddy agrees with me. And I got the videotape to prove it. So enough said. All the World's a Stage by Rush at number 4.